Oh crap, that is a lot of guys going to the same location. Just gotta make it to the rooftop. Oh, oh shit, there's so many guys landing. Look at the shadows. Oh no, this guy's gonna land right next to me. How many people are on this roof? Oh shit, I need a gun. I need a gun. Oh, shotgun. Gimme the ammo. Oh! He's punching me. Oh my god, that hurts. I need ammo. Go, 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 go. Reload. Come on, buddy. Get owned, bitch! Now, the start of a Battlegrounds match can be very chaotic, and although it can be really intense and fun to parachute in with a lot of other enemies around, you can often be the guy who doesn't end up with a gun. When I'm playing solos though, I generally like to parachute into some of the more loot-rich areas of the map so that I can start off with some decent weapons that should, if I survive, carry me into the later game. And for those of you unfamiliar with Battlegrounds, it's an early access game available on Steam, and it's basically a battle royale. You can play solo, you can play duos where you team up with a friend, or you can play with up to 4 players total in one squad. And depending on which mode you pick, it actually affects the gameplay significantly. When playing solo, a lot of the game comes down to kind of luck of the draw and being in the right situation at the right time. You don't have anyone to watch your back, so if you misstep, even in the slightest, it can be game over. That cheeky little camper kill is a very viable tactic when playing solo, but when you're playing with teammates or even a squad of 4, alerting an entire enemy squad by trying to take out one of their teammates in an easy kill isn't always the smartest option. Personally, I think the team play aspect of Battlegrounds is far superior to the solo play aspect, but playing solo certainly allows you to learn the mechanics of the game and move stealthily and efficiently through the world. Having the game volume up high and a good set of headphones allows you to really detect what's going on around you. I wouldn't have known that this player was here had I not heard the gunshots in the distance and was able to pinpoint what direction that was coming from. Getting a quick little peek out of a window in the direction I know my enemy is makes all the difference in the world. It also can help you try and avoid hotspots. It doesn't always make sense to engage your enemy. Knowing where they are is important not just for fighting them, but for avoiding them in general. This is a battle royale after all, which means the player who is left standing at the very end of the game is the winner. So sometimes it is easier to let your enemies fight each other while you just avoid combat altogether. There's many different tactics you can take to playing this game. Right here you'll notice that there's a player trying the tactic of pretending like he's dead in a car, which didn't work out so well for him, especially considering that there's only 27 players left. He made it pretty far in this game, and to die in such a stupid manner like that is funny for me at least. Now, to be honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy this game, but the appeal once I started playing it is the extremely high level of realism and the realistic way in which you will move around the environment. Sure, some of the animations can be a little plain or stale, but the actual gameplay itself is a great representation of what it might be like to move around in a nomadic or apocalyptic environment. I mean, you really have to be on your toes, and the way that you kind of navigate environments and stuff has to be intelligent or well thought out, or you really just have to go balls to the wall and hit some great shots. It's a fun game that is very high skill and high strategy at the same time. Much more on the strategy side than the skill side, but certainly when you're in a firefight where the odds are against you, skill really comes into play. Now, because the time to kill is so fast, the world is so huge, and the penalty for death is so high, you would think the game would play very, very slow. And it can at the start, but towards the end of the game, you'll see this energy ring that starts shrinking around you, forcing players to all group up in one area. And this forces players to move in areas that they wouldn't normally. It forces them to keep moving and have to move around the map. And also, they're unable to predict where the game is going to end. So you can't just post up in some area and wait for the round to end. You are constantly moving around the map. And that's where the strategy comes in, is how do I get from point A to point B in the safest manner with the least chance that somebody's going to gank me, you know, hide somewhere in a building and just take me out from afar. Because a lot of times when you die in this game, it's going to be from an angle that you never saw, and you may even get taken out without ever returning fire on your opponent or even knowing where they're shooting you from. And that can be really, really frustrating, especially when you've already put like 15-20 minutes into a game, you haven't really seen anyone, and then all of a sudden you just get sniped from really far away, and that was your entire experience. So rounds can go from extremely heart-pounding, fun, intense, to super boring, slow-paced, and then you die. So there's certainly a pretty big range of how fun this game can be, and like I said before, I think the game is most fun when you're playing in squads, because you can kind of talk to your teammates, decide what the best strategy is among the 4 of you, and then when there isn't actually action going on, you can always just chat to your buddies and have a good time just hanging out and talking. So I think playing with friends in this game is the way to do it, and the solo play is really there, I think, to probably work on your tactics and your techniques and whatnot. If you can get a first place in a solos round of Battlegrounds, that's really, really impressive, because you have to not only be playing really high on your skill, but you have to have great strategy to make it that far. Now, of course, looting is a big part of the game as well, and I really like that all the gear in the game feels very realistic. The weapon recoil, the gun mechanics are nice. They're agreeable right at the start, and a lot of the attachments and upgrades you can get for your weapons are realistic. You should know what something does pretty much right off the bat if you're familiar with other shooters. The ACOG's a nice 4x scope. You can get 8x optics, vertical grips, that kind of thing to help your weapon's performance. So the looting system and the weapon system is really cool. I like that a lot. There are some bugs in the game. Sometimes you'll kill enemies and they won't have a loot box available for them, and sometimes you'll fall through the world and there's laggy issues and stuff. This is an early access game, by no means a finished product, but the fact that the game is already so fun to play and that it's carved out a space for itself in the Twitch world. They've already sold many copies of the game. I think they made like $11 million in the first few days of this game going early access, shows that this game has got a future. And as much fun as I am having with this game right now, there are some things that I really just don't like fundamentally about the design. First of all, I think the third-person camera is a flawed mechanic for any game that's trying to be less than casual, because it allows me to have a third-person camera where I can see over ledges, I can look directly at my opponent, and they can have no idea that I'm there because I won't be in line of sight to them. So I don't like this mechanic. It allows for players to have eyes on the world without exposing themselves, and I would much rather have a first-person only game where if you need to look around you or look out a window, you have to stand in front of that window. That's how it works. You expose yourself to get intel. That's the risk versus reward. And the third-person camera kind of does away with that and makes it very easy to gank players and really rewards the campers a little bit more than I like. So I do hear that they're working on a first-person only mode for this game, and so once that comes out, I think I'm going to really enjoy Battlegrounds. Now, despite me showing you mostly action footage, a lot of this game is about the looting process. You may go for 10 minutes without engaging another player, and that has to be something you're okay with. Again, the team play aspect makes that part of the game much more bearable, and players can share loot and get things for each other, and you can actually start to specialize a bit more, where the first player to get an assault rifle might be the long range guy, and somebody who has a shotgun, you know, will be the first person to storm a building, because that makes sense. And so you can kind of divvy up responsibilities based on the gear and stuff that you have. So that's another really fun aspect to the team play. Plus, you can revive your teammates if they go down in the team play mode. They can be permanently killed though, so they can be shot enough to the point where you can't revive them, but that's just another element to running around with a squad and staying close to teammates and moving intelligently, as you can keep your friends alive. And the game really does have an addictive quality to it. Every round can feel like an adventure, especially again when playing with friends. You kind of have like these epic moments, these epic firefights or intense moments. It really does have a good personality and it's highly addicting. I'd love to play more of it. Let me know in the description if you guys want to see more Battlegrounds content on this channel, and I would be happy to provide you guys with it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCaf signing off.